The county administrators basically presented a budget that basically only has a $5 million increase, and that $5 million increase comes in at 0.885, and I believe that's the part we should start at, and then go from there to figure out if we need to make any adjustments or we adopt it at 88.5. But to go anything lower than what he's asking, in my opinion, is a dereliction of duty, and I leave it at that.
Was on the school board for 4 years. I, for one, don't necessarily want to raise taxes. But the reason to go with 88 cents this year rather than next year, 88 cents is going to make us one of the lowest tax communities in Northern Virginia. But we still have needs. We have emergency services, public safety infrastructure. We won't have a level tax that does not match our current future needs. We need a sustainable and low tax rate. We have a unique opportunity right now to support schools, to gain a competitive advantage on salary based on the school board's proposed budget. This would help correct our long list of vacancies and match what we did for the public safety 2 years ago. Public schools help the community, and these tax dollars are returned to us. Just remember, 70% of the school system, employees, 4,300 strong. Not only are voters, they live here in our county, right here in Stafford County. The programs at the schools create our future sheriffs and deputies, firefighters, EMTs, which help all citizens. Just remember the storm that we went through just a little bit ago. I remember it vividly. That storm should remind us why we need infrastructure, why we need to put in money back into our county, and to keep it strong. Many people come to Stafford for the schools. Let's make that an amazing Stafford County again.
You finished? Very good. All right. Anyone else?
Madam Chair?
Yes, Supervisor Gary.
These are difficult things, and I think maybe more difficult than that first week on the job with the storm. That
was just
I was
warming
running
you
around
up.
solving problems then, but this takes a lot more thought, and that's a good thing. But to me, I see a couple of things here where this is stewardship. We are stewarding money, and we're stewarding people. And in particular, because of the situation with our schools, children. We're stewarding the lives of children. I have 7 children. 5 of them are still in the schools. One's at Paris Island. We're very proud. And another getting ready to go off to the Army. And so we are about service, and we love people. And I will always put people over money. I know that sounds a little scary because now you probably think I'm just going to do this high tax rate. But we do have to take care of our people, so I'd like to at least leave it open for our advertised rate and stay at the top so we have room to work within that and see how do we get our schools funded properly. I also see an opportunity in this, and that we are in a real estate bubble right now that eventually is likely going to pop and look very different than what it looks like at the moment. So if we can take this opportunity to fix our schools and invest in our children and in our schools right now, we could come out of that very differently than some of the other surrounding communities. So for that reason, I'd like to have the advertised rate at the 88 cents. Thank you.
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you. I think every year that I've been on the board, we voted for the advertised rate to be higher, just to give us room, and then we go through the budget bit by bit to weed out what we think is necessary versus not necessary. What was it, 2 years ago, we had 16 budget meetings to do that because of changes of life. Right.
It was only 13.
13, okay. The lucky 13. So, I mean, it makes sense to advertise at a higher rate so that we can look at it. Normally, we get a hard copy of the school's budget, and we haven't received a hard copy of it this year. And so I am. And in fact, tonight was the first time I heard that the school board voted for a budget request that was higher than the superintendent's. So that was an interesting element. So I'm okay with advertising it and then going through as we normally do, and seeing what we need, what we don't need, and how best to spend it and where it's best to set the tax rate at that point. So I'll be supporting advertising it at the higher rate, which is what I normally do, and then do due diligence to look at things after that.
Anyone else? Do you want to talk? You good? Supervisor Bomke? No? Okay. I will take a stab at it just very quickly. I am voting against the advertisement at 88 cents. For a couple of reasons. I think I forgot her name, but the woman who came up and spoke earlier regarding the equity regarding the pricing in the townhomes. I think I've talked to all of my colleagues about this in the budget work sessions that we've had already. I am very concerned at the homes that are under the $350,000 value and the fact that they have increased in value by over 40%. And I just can't in good conscience advertise a rate when I know that we have $21 million of positive results of operation literally sitting, I don't want to say in an account, but like it's a lot of it is unallocated, and I think could go to offsetting some of the tax funding as we move through the budget process. I do understand what some of my colleagues are saying regarding you advertise a little bit higher, and we do always do our due diligence in making sure that we go line by line in the budget and cut out where we can. But I just can't in good conscience advertise an almost 10-cent tax increase in the highest inflation that we have seen in decades. So I will be voting against this motion. So I think everybody's gotten to talk that wanted to speak. Please go ahead and cast your votes on resolution R22-63. That motion carries 4-3. Okay, so now we're going to be